I think yesterday, last night, I talked about Bitcoin dipping a little bit. This morning, we're around the same level. I do think markets are looking at what Powell has to say. Today will be the very first FOMC meeting where he's not going to be raising or cutting, but he's going to be giving guidance on the rest of this year, right? There's a lot of FOMC meetings. I think there's like 9 of them or 8 of them that's coming up this year. So there are a lot. And people are wondering when he's going to start cutting. Because it does look like the economy is still doing well. Inflation, at least according to CPI and PCE, still holding low. Even you could argue whether those are real data or not. I don't know. But it does show that it's about time. We had elevated rates for a long time. And let's not forget, this is a presidential election year, which means that markets have to do well, which means that Powell is under pressure to start cutting. So today, everyone's going to be listening in to see what he says about the future. Now, out of the dozens of these that I've attended, he always gives a hawkish tone every single time. So you have to read really in between the lines, looking for that one phrase or one word to really get, you got to really kind of like put 2 and 2 together, so to speak, right? Or interpret in a certain way. And we'll see how the market reacts. I'm sure the reporters will be asking some important questions during Q&A, although I say important lightly because sometimes they're just the same question over and over, just said in a different way. But if we do get what we think, or what a lot of people think, basically a lot of people think that he's going to say something about rate cuts coming up soon, or if he hints or indicates that they're coming, right? And it may be starting as soon as March. The markets will explode. All markets, all U.S. markets, crypto market, every single market will explode. But if he says nothing and he retains a hawkish tone, then probably nothing will happen. But there's a lot of excitement over today's FOMC meeting, so got to brace for that. But it could be a good thing. It could be a very good thing. Brace afterwards. We could see Bitcoin explode too. Grayscale outflows versus everyone else's inflows for the ETFs. So yesterday it was already reported that Grayscale outflow went up, it upticked a little bit versus Monday, minus 221 million. But look at this. BlackRock had a huge addition day, plus basically 300 million. BlackRock alone more than made up for Grayscale's outflow. And then you look at everyone else. Fidelity was trailing a little bit, but then you look at Bitwise added a 22 million, ARK added 17 million, but overall net inflow into these funds is 247 million, which is fantastic. So now we are seeing net inflow, not net outflow. And BlackRock is at 2.8 billion now, and Fidelity's at 2.3, 2.4, and the others are closing in at 700. So this is very positive. We got a few more days this week. If Grayscale outflows continues to diminish and inflow continue to go up, which I think they will, there's no reason why. Well, obviously, this is creating a supply shock that I've been talking about, right? So this is pretty positive. But again, I always say this, it's positive, asterisk, short term, right? We would love to see more Bitcoin being taken out of circulation to cause that supply shock, to cause the price to go up. But long term, it's just horrible. We don't want these big guys to be holding so many Bitcoin and controlling so much of the supply, right? So just make sure you grab some before it's too late. But I think that Fed decision today will be pretty big. And I'm really hoping that, because many analysts already are calling it, I really hope that he indicates that a Fed cut is coming. And it could be coming as soon as March. Bitcoin history is rhyming why analysts are still bullish on Bitcoin. I mean, I'm always bullish on Bitcoin, but here's a really encouraging chart right here. Okay, why it's rhyming? Because that's what Bitcoin does, because the most important catalyst of any 4-year cycle is the halving event. And we have not deviated from this. It pretty much looks the same every time we have a halving event. We recover. We're not quite back to our previous high, but we're close. And then afterwards, we start going upwards, right? So if you look at it, 2017 and 2021 are actually more deviation than the other cycles. But still, it followed the same pattern. And we are following the same exact pattern right now as before. So all the volatility, the little dips and swings and everything else that we're seeing, just know that it's perfectly normal. Every single cycle we go through this. Those of you guys that ignore the little dips and bumps and volatility and you continue to hold on DCA, not only have you been hardened, but you're making gains. That's quite simply it. You're making gains because you're being rewarded for your patience. That's it. People that tend to jump in and out and try to outsmart the market by doing a whole lot of trading, they end up losing more than they win. That's just the bottom line. Keep doing what you're doing. Also, we got a lot of stable coins. I've mentioned this before. A lot of stable coins coming into the market right now. And they're not coming in because people just love stable coins. No, because they're getting ready to buy. Tether is close to 100 billion already. USDC is still close to 30 billion. So right there, you got 130 billion waiting to come back into the market. That's just sitting there already. That's already in the market. It's just not into the alts yet or Bitcoin, and they will. Today's the last day of the month, and I bet you guys didn't know that if we do close green, which I think we will, there's no reason really, unless Powell says something really, really bad today. We had 5 consecutive green months. That's hard. We haven't seen that for a long time. So if you look at 2023, 2023 was a pretty good recovery year. In fact, we only had 3 down months and 9 green months. That's actually pretty amazing. Most people don't even remember that. But if you look at starting from September green, October green, November green, December green, in January we're barely in the green, but we'll hold on. If we hold on, it's 5 consecutive months, right? The last time this happened was back in 2020. Again, October, November, December, and then went into January, February, and March. So it's looking pretty good. Pretty bullish. Although in 2020, those monthly jumps were crazy. 28%, 43%, 47%. Then going into 2021, 15%, 37%, 30%. Those are crazy jumps, right? So the ones that we had so far, not as crazy. But the reason why 2020 months were so crazy was because it was after a halving event. The last halving event was in 2020. So that's what we have to look forward to, right? In the remainder of this year, maybe it doesn't start right away because the halving event is in April. Maybe we have to wait. Maybe May, June, July, nothing. But August, September, October, November, that's when it starts getting really, really hot.